Hi guys, it's Sasha again. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on with me. So since last we spoke, um, I had a bit of a flare and I ended up in the hospital again, unfortunately. I was having a problem with the pain in the pelvic area as well as pain my hip and the leg was giving me a problem as well. Yeah, so I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and for that entire 3 weeks I was on morphine and Voltaren. Along the way I developed a morphine allergy. It's never happened before, but I was on IV and I started realizing after I got the morphine my hand started to turn red, like all the veins in my hand. I'll probably put a picture in here somewhere to show you guys what I look like. And it started to itch me horribly. So I spoke to the nurses and they stopped the IV and spoke to the doctor. They stopped the morphine drip and put me back on tramadol, which did nothing. And for that entire day suffered in agonizing pain, and I begged and begged and begged, and eventually they realized that they will have to put me back on the morphine. So they put me on Histal as well as hydrocortisone, so to help with the allergic reaction, and it did help. The morphine didn't help as much as I would have liked it to, but those medications helped with the allergy. While I was in the hospital, they did an x-ray on my hip and my leg, because this time around I was having a problem with my leg, where the leg was numb. This time the leg was, it wasn't just numb like it normally is, it actually felt muscle bound. Like my entire leg felt really hard, and like when I touched it, the muscle would kind of like flutter and do this weird kind of thing. Um, and I was having pain in the hip again, the swelling in the hip area. So they did an x-ray of my hip and my leg, which came back fine. So what they're going to do now is an MRI to see if they can figure out what's causing the problem. So I'm waiting to have that done now. So I finally got my doctors to decide to do the surgery, finally. I'm on Depo-Provera, not just normal strength for 150. They actually put me up to 300 milligrams of Depo-Provera, and I still ended up in the hospital. It makes absolutely no sense taking a medication that has such serious side effects if you're still going to be in pain. So I spoke to them and they decided that they were going to get the surgery done, but I have to be referred to another doctor. So I have to wait, and hopefully he understands my plight, and we can get a laparoscopic excision done. I'm going to do excision. I'm not going to go and have a hysterectomy. Also, while I was in the hospital, the IV made my hand swell. It took a couple of days before the swelling went down, and the pain was awful. So I got them to take with the IV, and I was on oral meds from then. And I had started to realize it before, but it was definitely made concrete that cold weather, or I realized even more as I kind of keep notes and track how things go, any drop in humidity, because before I was thinking it was just when the rain fell, because my hip kind of behaves like how arthritis pain behaves, like when the rain is going to fall, because the pain starts. That's actually that's the way my hip behaves. But it's not just rainfall. What I've realized is that it is a drop in humidity, because there would be some days where the rain will fall and I wouldn't have any pain, or I wouldn't know the rain was coming. Then other days, I know. I know way in advance. I can predict the weather quite accurately because of the hip pain. So what I realized is that a drop in humidity is what actually causes the pain in my leg to get ridiculous. And at that time in the hospital, there was a lot of bad weather here in Barbados. It was really horrible. It was really horrible. It was a horrible time for me. Coming out of the hospital, my first day out of the hospital, the weather was really bad again, and that was the worst experience that I have had in my life thus far dealing with pain. I have never experienced anything like that before, ever, and I really hope that I never do again. Nerve pain is, I can't describe it. I literally had to I wrapped my leg in everything in the house that I could find. My blanket, my mom's blanket, my nephew's blanket, like 2 sweaters, my towel. At one point my mom bought some water and, you know, brought hot water for me with the towel so I could put on the hip and the leg as well. I mean, it brought me to tears. I prayed like I have never prayed before in my life. And I have had some very healthy conversations with Jehovah before. And I was real. You know, I knew that there was no way that I could continue the way. This was like the day after I came out of the hospital. It was, moving on. After a couple of longest hours of my life, the pain slowly started to recede. The weather started to clear up a bit, and I was worn out. I will never forget. That was the worst experience I have had thus far. And then after that, for like maybe 2 weeks, every time I used the bathroom, again I had blood mixed in with my stool. So the reason for this last flare once again was internal bleeding, not like having a monthly bleed or any kind of like major spotting or anything. It was bleeding very much so internally. So I had that problem again for another 2 weeks. As of right now, I am off Depo-Provera. That's the end of that for me. It's not helping. So it makes no sense continuing. But I'm not just sitting at home doing nothing. The pain would eat me alive. So I'm using a lot of herbal remedies. I'm using flaxseed, which helps to balance female hormones. I'm using a herbal formula. And I do find that like a couple hours after I take it, if I'm spotting or I'm having any problems, it stops. You know, then it'll continue, I guess, after it wears out of my system. But you know, I'll work with the medication to see how best it can help me. I've been spotting constantly, between spotting and bleeding for maybe a month and a half or so now. So that comes with its own problems, severe anemia. So I'm on iron for the anemia as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I am now, still alive and kicking. I've been through a lot. I've been emotionally just frayed. And that's the reason why I haven't been able to record. I do apologize. I've just been so out of it. The anemia was kicking my butt. Like I woke up at 11 o'clock every single day for like 3 weeks or so, and then going through the day feeling like a zombie, like I was still half asleep. Anyone who has problems with allergies will know that feeling. Then my allergies were kicking my butt as well, so it was those things along with the pain. You know, it's been a rough past month and a half or 2 months for me, so I'm sorry that I haven't been able to do any recording, but I've got a couple of videos lined up for you guys, and I hope they're helpful and I hope you enjoy them. So you guys should see those videos soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye everyone.